Hi everyone! So the other day I had a lot of fun just making some backgrounds, doing some mixed media techniques or items, and I have them ready to go now to make lots of cards. And so today I want to do something similar, but I'm going to be using the LDRS Creative strips. So I have the zigzag slimline, they're 1/2 inch zigzag slimline and the 1/2 inch scallop slimline. Basically mean they're about 1/2 inch here. Obviously they go up and down and things like that, but that's what they do. They cut strips that you can, you know, nestle in together, layer them up, you know, just use them however you like. So we'll do a few fun things with these guys today. And these were sent free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links I have in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items to those links. So yeah, my plan is just to grab some pretty papers, just a ton of papers, and just cut a whole bunch of the scallop and a whole bunch of the zigzag, and then we'll play with them to make some different backgrounds. Maybe we'll do a whole card today, and then I'll just have strips for another time. And so these are some of the backgrounds I made the other day, and now that they're dried you can see the shimmery glitteriness of them and how pretty they look. So just something like that. Obviously they're going to be different than this, but just to have some backgrounds ready to go, and then I can just put a sentiment on them or whatever it is that I want to do. So I'm going to grab a ton of papers, and I'll just show you kind of how I'm going to run them through. And I'm going to leave a piece in the back just because this, both of these guys, they don't cut this edge, so they make 3 full strips plus one that doesn't have an edge, or yeah, it doesn't cut that back part. Same thing on this one, 3 full scallop strips, but this part stays on. So just in case, let's say you want to start with a flat piece, you know, that's just cut on the top straight across, and then you can layer in or end it that way too. So it's just, I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to that piece also. So just have a couple of pieces that are be like toppers or bottom parts to my design if you want to do that, right? But yeah, so let me just grab some paper, and oh, real quick before we do that, I do believe they're 8.5 inch strips. Let me check. I might cut them on paper in the opposite direction though, because you know your paper is 8.5 inches wide already. Oh, it's 8 1/4. Okay, perfect. So yeah, so then I was wondering if I had to waste a little bit of 11 inch paper, right? So I am just going to grab some standard A2 size paper, and I'll be right back. My stash, and I found this pack of paper. I just saw at the top that they look like they coordinate really nicely, and so I'm just going to cut some of these. So, ooh, that's nice thick paper. I was trying to see if that was 2 or 1 sheet. So let's say that one and the yellow, which apparently I've already used because I only have 1 of each of those. Let's go ahead and cut this orange. Oh, this one's already cut in too. So I'm just going to grab a bunch of papers out of here, and that's just how I'm doing it. I figure they coordinate already on their own, and I'll be right back. And so, you know, I can look at the width of these guys, and some of these papers have been cut in too, and I have a little piece of red that can still get a few strips off of that. On both these guys, I'll do the same thing. I just want to see about how wide they are, and probably run each color of paper 2 or 3 times just to have a ton of strips. So in each colorway, or each color. Let's see, so this is like 1.5 inches deep. So what I can do is, if I was going to start from here, 1.5 times 3, that's 4.5. So let's just say we want like 5 inch strips. This one's a little bit special because it has this little piece hanging off of here, but let's pretend just like 5 1/4. Just give ourselves a little bit of space in case, you know, I was a little bit off in my measuring. So I'm looking at this, not that end there. And I'll probably cut this other piece off. And again, since it's 8 1/4, you can definitely lay it across your 8.5 inch piece of paper. So I'm just going to take this to my die cutting machine. I mean, whatever die cutting machine you have. And I was just trying to find a spot to put that. Okay. And I'll just run it through like this. So on all of these, I'll cut them down to about 5 1/2 roughly. Oh, I do want to show you. Remember this piece here that doesn't cut? Now, since I want to keep a piece, at least one of the strips, what I would do is make sure that one of these ends is nice and straight. And maybe I'll pop it like right here. That way I have an end cap piece, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. So I'm just eyeballing center. And if you want a couple of those end pieces, of course you can just cut your paper again or however. But I'm going to run this through, and I'll be right back. Just ran that through. And this will be interesting because that last piece that doesn't get cut off. So we have a piece that's like this. See how it doesn't have an edge or an end? And for right now, I'm just going to cut it off like this. And that could be a beginner piece or an ending piece. So every time I do this, I'm going to make sure to have at least, I'll do it this way, have at least 1 or 2 of these guys for each color. And what I mean by that is when you start making more and more colors, the next color can be pink or whatever. And when you layer them in, you'll have this strip if you want it just to be flat on the top or flat on the bottom or flat and top and bottom or however, but you want to have some of these pieces. That's all I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go sit in my living room, watch a little TV, and just cut, and I'll be back. Guys, how cute and colorful is that? So I have a few things here in front of me. So these are the scalloped ones. These are the ones that were kind of odd because they were just like, whenever I had run one strip through and then started the next one, I just kind of put it close and then ran it again, right? So these guys, even though they have the right shape, they're just a little different. They might not be lined up and all that because they're just like scraps, but I'm going to keep them. Same thing with these guys. These are all like scraps, and we can probably use them for something else. So leave those there. These are the off-end cuts where I can have a nice either beginning scallop or, you know, ending, however it is that you want to put them together. Let's say you have this and then like this guy, you know. And the next one I didn't take them apart, but they can come apart like that. Or it can be the top part, right? And then your scallop goes down the other way. However it is. So I have a lot of ends. Same thing with these guys. So these are my ends. These are the solid, you know, the ones that are cut all very nicely. I did leave some of them attached to like this end piece because I want to go ahead and just cut it with a guillotine and make sure this is nice and straight. It looks pretty straight, but just in case it's not, it's easier to cut a piece like this and cut a piece off than have just one little strip in your hand that you're going to try to square up, right? So if they stay together, I just left them together. So now we have tons of these guys, really, really cute. I also did some white because you never know. White's always good to have on hand, so there's an end strip of white and then solid. Same thing here. I'm probably going to cut this end off wherever the dye kind of impressed in there. I'm just going to cut that strip off again. I left it stuck together, so it'd just be easier to bring it to my guillotine as one solid piece and knock that chunk off right there. So we have scallop ends, zigzag ends, and I'll just leave them here kind of for now. I did grab some pretty papers. I have some card bases. So we're just gonna either go ahead and finish a complete card or just make some card toppers or have the card ready and then I'll just add sentiments when I need them. So a couple things. So all right, so let's start with something easy. So I do have this 4x9 paper. It's the favorite thing, super cute, lots of cute pattern. Oh, look at this one. Did I use a star pattern? I feel like I might have used it. Oh, the other side is also super cute. Oh my goodness. Well, I was thinking this because it can go with any of these guys. So if this is 4x9, it's already a 1/4 inch smaller than my A2 papers, my A2 card bases, which are 4.5, of course, by 5.5. So if you're making your own, you need 8.5 by 5.5 piece of paper scored at 4 1/4. So if this is 4 already, what I'm gonna do is cut it at 5 1/4 in the other direction. I'll be right back. Okay, so on this guy, let's go zigzags, and I'm just going to grab these. So now these zigzag pieces are 8 1/4 inches wide. So if you have a 4 1/4, you know, card front, you want the whole 4 1/4, obviously you're gonna end up with about 4 inches left. Generally, when I've seen LDRS creative people, you know, playing with them, they just use them however, because if you really line it up on the one edge and you cut it off, I mean, this one's kind of funky for the next time and they'll keep lining it up. So it's up to you if you want to conserve the paper or you're just going to go for it. But let's say we have like pieces like this, and like I said, if you want to start off with a piece that's basically a top edge, so it has an edge, you can glue that down too and then keep going, finish off with maybe another straight one, or let's just go zigzag the whole time, which is also fun. And you know, do you want it to be very symmetrical, like where I started it and where I end it, as far as where it starts here, where it ends here? You know, you can kind of look for what's more organic, however it is that you like. But I'm just going to grab some colors and we'll go from there. I mean, you can do rainbow order. I mean, there's just lots of fun things. Oh, I didn't cut any black. We didn't need black, huh? Black is always a good start color to pop on here. And since I'm making this a card topper, that's why I'm going to play on this before I bring it somewhere else. Maybe one more color. Let's see what I have. Maybe dark blue. Ooh. Oh, that really makes a difference. Okay. So something like that. So let me clear out a little space here and I'll grab some glue and we'll just glue those guys down. So I'm just going to line this up on my guide. Of course, if you have like a T-score or something like that, you can definitely do that. But I'm just lining it up in the very top. And you know, these are about 1/2 inch and I'm just going to be playful with it. I'm not really looking for a certain spot for this to be at, other than maybe lining up maybe a strip on one of these so I know it's straight. How about there? And are we going to try to make it super symmetrical? If I want it more symmetrical, it has to be like about there. Okay. So, first one. I'm going to put a little glue, a little extra. And I said it needs to be right on those lines just about, and I'm looking at the chevron kind of shape where this pokes up and this one pokes up, and that should be straight, right? And of course you can save these for other projects. You can put them on like a little strip, maybe a tag or something. And so I'm just going to put glue from here to the very edges. And I go purple next. And the rest of them we're just basically popping them on there. See, if I move it over just a little bit, we can save a little bit of that one too. So, you know, whatever fits. A little more glue. And the last one, since I don't really know where it's going to end, I'm going to put the glue on the blue piece. Oh, look at that. There we go. Turn it around, and that'll be one fun card topper done. And I just need that glue down here, and I'll put it here. Just kind of eyeballing where it should stop. Yep, that's pretty good. And there we are, so I can just cut those strips off. I'm gonna let them dry just for a second. You know, if you decide you want to add another one, because I was like, oh, maybe some pink. I know we didn't have the pink on there. You know what? Why not? And just pop that in there, just making sure I have glue. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna let that set up and I'll be right back. Just been a few minutes. I was just letting that glue set up. And you can take this to your guillotine or just cut off these extras. And honestly, I've just been so envious of the LDRS creative videos where they just bring all these strips and I'm like, oh, I need all those strips. They look so pretty together. So of course we have these little scraps. I would put them right back, probably put these like in a Ziploc kind of thing, or maybe just a pouch. I do have some LDRS creative ones from their organization box that I'm gonna pop these in. And then these little bits, well, they're just little bits, but actually those little pieces look like chevrons, like almost perfect. Look at that. So if you're the type that wants to save every scrap. So we have that. And that is what the front looks like. And then we can put a die cut on here. You can put some ephemera pieces. I mean, all kinds of fun ways to continue on with that. But for right now, I'm just gonna pop it on here. Now I did leave a 1/4 inch all around, which I normally do an 1/8. So if I wanted to matte layer this, I can definitely cut another, you know, color down and just have it matte layered there. But I'm just going to trim a little bit off of this, a little more. And I'm just going to glue that down. So we have a card topper ready for a sentiment, maybe some ephemera, other die cuts, however it is. And that is one. But already having all these strips makes it really fun and easy, so I sat there, you know, maybe 10 minutes of just cutting, and now we have all these cute background pieces. We have that guy. For the next one, again, same A2 size card. I mean, you can use 6-inch cards, you can do slim lines, of course, with that 8 1/4 inch that we have there. And I just went through the 6-inch paper, and I'm grabbing a piece like this, and I thought this was really cute for like a background, so I need this guy to be 4 1/8 inches wide, because that's my preference, by 5 3/8. And then on the other side, it has this really cute pattern. I was like, oh, you know, this will show you where you can just do like a scallop edge or however you want to use them. We have this whole piece. Honestly, I think I can just go with that. But we were going to add a white edge, so maybe I'll take a little bit off of it. So what did I say this was? Oh, this is... let's do 1 3/4 inches, and I'm going to try to straighten this out. It looks like I might have cut a little bit crooked originally. Something like that. And what did I say that was? 1 3/4. Okay, so that's 1 3/4, and I do need it to be the same height, so let's take a little bit off of this guy at 5. And I could have cut it all down to 5 3/8 first, but I didn't. So we could have done that, just have that same measurement, and that looks better that way. Okay. And then what I'm going to do for this guy, just to make a nice easy topper, you can use this for like little ruffles later. I don't get rid of larger pieces like this because they're fun. Let's see. Ooh, we have white. White is very stark, of course, that just pops. How about, ooh, the green or something funky, just to make it, oh, maybe this. Let me play for a second and see what color ruffle. Oh yeah, let's go with that, why not? Something different. So I need 2 strips. And basically, I'm just gonna put some glue on here. Let's go ahead and glue this one down. So this is my card topper. And then, we'll just add on the other little guy. So let's go ahead and put that guy here. And then this guy, glue getting away from me here. I'm just gonna put some glue here and some on this side too. And we'll bring this guy over. I was trying to think, where am I gonna put it first? Okay, on this side. And I am going to split the difference a little bit just so that the scallop is a little more organic instead of just being straight at the top, and then, which means there's another extra little piece you're going to cut, but if you want to, you know, I only cut one side, then just line it up at the very top. And this opposite one, we're just going to bring this guy around and pop it over here, and same kind of thing, make it a little more organic by making it a little bit off. And there is plenty of scallop to show. I'm just eyeballing about how much of it I'm letting stick out from behind the paper. I'm gonna let that dry for a second. Looks like a little ladder. I'll be right back. Just a little bit, and you can bring this over, and I'm just eyeballing the very edge of my cut from before. Cut that off, and then same thing on this other side, and I'll do this one from this side. And I'm just feeling that to make sure it's right on the edge. There we go. And so just a little bit extra right here. Okay. And again, we have these little scraps. So you can do similar things with another piece of paper, and then you'll have these little guys to tuck in behind, you know, to have some scallops. And this guy, I think I'm just going to glue it straight down. But of course, if you're already designing your card, you know, maybe you want that up a little bit. For now, I'm just making card toppers. So this one, I'm just going to glue down. That looks cute even on this side. Look at how perfect that is. Again, because of the die. But let me just put this here. And just putting that right on there. And again, just eyeballing it. Cute. And then I brought out the ephemera pack from the favorite things just to show you. I mean, once you have something like this, you can put something together pretty quickly. I was just thinking of the different things in here. They're like Shine Bright, like Life is Sweet. That one's a little bit larger from this direction, but you can do it with this direction. Of course, if you have like landscape card, and just add in, you know, just different things. So, oh, how cute would that be? And then maybe popped up. And we need something up high to balance that. Let's see here. Oh, I know there's some hot air balloons in here. How cute is that? Maybe put a little hot air balloon up there, and maybe a little sentiment here, or however. So just lots of fun ways to use that. And then I did bring out some papers, just plain paper. I just have this pink and purple paper. And I think what we'll do is maybe put some impressions on one of them. I'm going to grab the plate, the LDRS Creative quilted plate, and I'm just going to run it through on this one. This paper is already 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That's just how it is. It was already cut down. I don't remember if that plate has an edge on it, but I'll run it through and I'll show you, and I'll be right back. The plate, and it does not have an edge, so that's really nice. So I'm just going to place this on here and run it through my die cutting machine. It's just like a die, but it doesn't have the die. It just does the like punching. I'll be back. And oh, it's so gorgeous. It really pushed it down into my cutting plate. But look at that. So pretty. So we're going to go ahead and glue that right down just to have that set. And the reason I'm doing that is because, again, the paper's already 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's exactly the same size. Now, you don't have to glue it down and then cut it. If you want to cut it, you know, your ruffles or whatever you're using, glue it on here and then glue it down. That's up to you. Maybe that's what I'll do. We're going to do ruffles on here, so might as well. I'll put it on here first. Okay, and let's go ahead and start this one off with a topper piece like I had mentioned. Ooh, look at this orange one. That looks pretty straight. Okay, so let's start here. Actually, where do I want to start this one? there. That looks good. Okay. So I'm just going to stick this down so this doesn't move. And I'm just going to do the same thing we did before and splitting the difference as far as the little scallops. Hope that makes sense, but I'll show you what I mean. And I'm just putting a good amount of glue. I'm not really measuring it because I want to see where I'll be at. It's like a half scallop. Something like that. So the scallop ends there and that scallop ends there. And just putting it here where I think it's nice and straight. Okay, and then again, just like before, I'll just take some glue. I can do a pretty good amount for this one because I know I'm going to go all the way down in this area. Really getting on the very side because you don't want those to pick up later. And, oh, these are different ones. Let's get these guys going. I didn't plan this one at all. Oh my gosh, look at that. Very good, bring it right up. Tuck it in there. Just pushing it up with my thumbnails, getting it nice and close. And I'll just continue adding pretty colors. Ooh, this one's nice and fresh. And again, adding glue is necessary. So I'll probably add just a couple more layers. I think that's it. So I'm gonna let that set up, and just like I did before, I'll let it dry, I'll turn it around and just cut off the extras. And then in the meantime, where did I put that? I grabbed, here they are, this die set, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut this little guy out of like gold cardstock, and I'll be right back. Look how pretty once it's all cleaned up. I love it. And then again, we have these extra pieces I'll put back there, and go ahead and bring out my card base. We have that beautiful quilted background, really fun colors. I only did one other little strip just because I changed my mind. I know I said I was going to do a couple more, and we're going to pop this guy down on here, and I'll put some glue right behind here. This one goes right edge to edge. Generally, I'll hold this down and make it nice and flat. And then I ran this guy through. How pretty. Now you can run this through a couple times, maybe some white paper or whatever color you like to make it thicker, to lift it up. What I normally do with my butterflies is I'll kind of bend their wings and I'll just kind of stick them down like this so they have a little bit of dimension. I'm going to put some glue here, and with foil papers you want to be careful. You don't want it to like make the paper warp or anything like that. So I put it on and then I just kind of dab some off. So I'll hold this all down and I'll be right back. So another gorgeous card, and then again you can add your sentiment, maybe right here and the top and the bottom. So now we have 3 really, really sweet and cute card bases ready to go. And then on this last one, again A2 size, and what I have is this purple paper. I'm just going to run it through an embossing folder that I have in my stash just to add some texture, and then maybe we'll use some of our little scraps. I think that's what we'll do. So I'll be right back. Have this really nicely embossed, and I'm just going to glue that right down on here, okay? And I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our beautiful card base here, and I was just playing around with some of these guys. Oh, we have the dark purple too, and I was thinking about just putting them on the side here, possibly at the top, look like streamers, right? If you wanted to hang down from up here, and then you have like your spot. Well, maybe let's try that. And I'm using the ends that were nice instead of the ends that were cut. But you can always, manipulate that however you think you might like for that to look. And see how they're facing different ways. That's really cute. Do we bring the purple in? That might be too many. Maybe. I think we leave it all tongue-tied, but also I wasn't paying attention. I wanted it to be light and then dark, and then light and then dark. Maybe up here. See, that's really organic and fun. Let's see here. If I need one more, if that's too many. That's kind of what I was looking at before. I feel like if I wanted this one, yeah, maybe that's too many. Let's leave it like that. And yeah, let's leave them over here. Why not? We're coming off the side, and you had your sentiment or however. It'll just be like a background piece. So I'm just going to pick these up and glue them down. I suppose if you want to make sure they're nice and straight, like standing up nice and straight, you can do that by lining them up on one of these guys. But I'm just going to start. And this guy's like here. Let's see here. Like that, and then just a little something here. Yep. So I'll glue that one down, glue this one down, then this one and this one, and then we'll cut them off. Okay, so I have those down, and again, it's just a little something. I mean, we can even use these other scraps to come in this way or come in from the top, the bottom, right? Just a fun way to use up your pieces. So I'm gonna let that dry a little bit, and I'm just gonna take this to my guillotine and cut it right at, 5.5, so that this edge gets cut off, and I'll be right back. Those off, and again, I have some more little scraps that you can hold on to, or just go ahead and recycle. But here are some really fun card backgrounds, just using those scallops and zigzags in different ways. They all look so fun, and again, really cohesive because of just how I just grabbed the paper pack that was already coordinated, and then I just cut a bunch of strips, and now I have them. I mean, I probably used at the most, these beginning ones, 6 strips, and I was able to use those over and over right over here. And on this one I used 4 and 1 more, so 5, and I made these guys, and I have tons left. So yeah, if you have even the ones that cut just like strips that are nice and straight, just cut a whole bunch of them, have them ready to go. They're really fun to play with. Thanks for watching, guys. Thank you so much, LDRS Creative, for sending these items for review. These are available just there at LDRS Creative sites. I'll have them linked in the description box, and I'll have images coming up, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.